What do you encounter as a Black woman creator? First of all, let me say that privilege factors into success. In my case, I always have to be very, very cognizant of how colorism, featureism, texturism plays into me being able to be visible and be out here and have a chance at all. It's mentally taxing. It's mentally taxing in a way that I have not encountered quite before. The stress is very unique, and I was in the military. It's hard to be a Black woman anywhere. To be a Black woman in any pocket of the entertainment industry is to be reminded that no matter how talented you are, no matter how hard you try, no matter how hard you bust your ass, even creating something for yourself, even building a platform for yourself, a stepping stone for yourself, no matter how beautiful you may be, in so many ways, you will be overlooked anyway and it won't matter. As a Black woman creator, I have to watch my male and white and just non-Black counterparts, colleagues, friends, enemies. I have to watch them be treated so much better than I and women like me. I watch other people get flown out to premieres out of town and be put up in hotels, and I damn near emptied out my savings in 2023 flying to stuff. It's not just about, having a pretty picture or Getty to post on Instagram. That Getty is part of your resume as a creator, influencer, internet figure, actor. All you want to do is be in the room where it happens. All you want to do is be in the room with influential people. And that's how you further your career. There's only so much I can do from making videos from my couch. It's watching men, white women, but especially men, get plucked out of internet fame, whatever, and being dropped into a movie or being asked to go write on some of the most prestigious shows in the industry. And then when it comes to you, it's like, oh yeah, she's good, but we need to see a little bit more. Let her. She needs to hone her craft a little bit more. I've been acting since I was 16, actively. I've been doing this for a long time. I've done every job that there is to do in the theater, at least. And then you watch men with no experience being given a shot. A lot of the time, we'll have the same business contacts in this line of work, me and my friends. Those contacts will treat them a certain way. They'll hook them up. They'll give them just things without even asking. They'll get a lot of free stuff and everything. Invites, passes, con passes, stuff like that. But I have to keep on, reminding them, like, hey, I'm here, I exist. People that you see being treated like 10 times better than you have 10 times the numbers, or 3 times, 4 times, whatever, and you still get told that it's not enough. I mean, I watched the Taraji P. Henson interview when she did the press tour for The Color Purple, and it was really validating because she talked about how she has to prove over and over again that the last time she did her job really well, it wasn't a fluke. And she's been doing that for 20 years. that gets so tiring. And she thought about giving up. She's thought about quitting acting. I've thought about quitting. You know, if it's hard for Taraji, if it's hard for Angela Bassett, if it's hard for Viola Davis, then, you know, what hope do the rest of us have? When Viola Davis talked about, you know, the pay gap, the men get paid this, and then the women are paid half of that. And then the black women are paid 10 times less than what the white women are making. A lot of the time, people don't want to pay my rate, but they will pay that and more for a man. I have seen both, I've seen men, both black and non-black, receive inordinate amounts of money for similar work as I do. And I'm talking life-changing numbers. I'm talking 6 figures. And sometimes I'm struggling to get 5. Some of them were either in the same neighborhood of influence and numbers, or they're nowhere near me. And then, like, to the folks at home, you know, an influencer to them is an influencer. And so a lot of the time they don't think about these intersectional problems. We're not making the same money, and if you look up the stats, the numbers are actually really disgusting. Like a white influencer is making, or white creators might make a 6-figure number, and a black woman makes a few hundred. I've gone to premieres, and I've had security tell me that you're not supposed to be here, you don't belong here, while they just let my male and white counterparts just go. And I've had security pull me aside and be like, what are you doing here? And this is for studios that I've worked for and had a relationship with for a while. It's watching your male and white counterparts get invited to premieres within your own city over and over again, and you just keep on magically being forgotten. Again, with companies that you've had a relationship with for a long time. I cannot tell you how much situational, career-related depression that I am constantly in. You have no idea sometimes when you see me on a red carpet how hard I had to fight to get there. You have no idea how many times I had to, you know, my team has had to reach out to that company or that studio and be like, hey, she's here. I have to constantly be pulling the "do you know who I am" card, which I don't want to do. I don't want to have to do that. It feels so icky. It sounds so icky. It sounds so entitled. There was a con that I had worked for 1 year, and I was paid a certain rate. And then the next year, they wanted me to come back and do the same job for them. And my following had increased significantly. And so my manager asked for a higher rate than they paid me the year before. Not too much, honestly. And the way that they basically effectively told me to go fuck myself. And there's a company that wanted me to come out to LA for something. And my manager was like, okay, well, she needs to get flown out, put her up in a hotel, all this. And they said, no, that's not in our budget. That month, my dad had died. I told them, my father just died, and I have to be there for my family. And I only have the funds to pay for one ticket out of town, one plane ticket this month. So if you want me there, you're gonna have to fly me there. And all of a sudden, they had the budget. It was so strange. Paid for my flight, paid for my hotel, my meals, all of a sudden. And I get there only to meet up with a few other creators that they had flown out from different countries, from overseas, who they had flight plans. They had lodging plans. They were always going to put them up in the hotel. There was no fight with them. These were men. Their plans had been secured a long time ago. They had been taken care of. But for some, and the way they were not, like, compared to me, as far as, like I said, numbers and stuff, they were nowhere close. When I tell you nowhere close, nowhere close. Being a Black woman creator is stressful. It's stressful, and it brings a level of depression and anxiety that I have to combat every day, on top of just walking through the world as a Black woman, period. It's so fun! It's so fun. And a lot of people will just sit there and watch you go through these things and won't really help as far as colleagues are concerned, because it doesn't affect them. And we're talking men, we're talking white women, you know, Black men, white men, just non-Black men in general, non-Black women. Like, and you just kind of feel like you're here screaming to the wind and nobody cares. Sometimes even your own. Sometimes even your own. If you dare ask for better, or if you dare fight for better treatment, you'll even have those of your own that are like, you know, or that won't back you up, or will do the opposite of backing you up. So that's very hard.